So, welcome to episode 13 of Railcar Restorers on the Road. You see us in front of a familiar face from episode 12, where we went round this bubble. Well, there's a few snagging jobs that the previous contractor that was worked on this wasn't able to complete. So, we come in between Christmas and New Year to hopefully get those snagging jobs done and take you through the process and, well, have a good time.
So what you're going to be seeing in this is more familiar sites from our own unit. So some roof repairs where the roof's turned into a colander, a little bit of framework repairs as well, because some unexpected, very interesting home fabrications done on that one, and yeah, just general snagging jobs.
And for me, my usual general jobs that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to try and also sneak off while these two aren't looking and get some film of the 1903 Northeastern Railcar that's out during the Betwixt Scala, so a little bit of bonus footage at the end for you.
So let's get into it, let's get into 2 days of hell.
Right guys, as you'll see, we have a bit more of the roof nightmare here on this suburban vehicle. So what I'm going to be doing is taking out this little bit of gutter here, just a localised issue, because this is to get it back in traffic. It's not a crazy overhaul like what we've been doing, and just put some new metal in here, get the issue sorted where it needs to be sorted.
So here we are on another problem, and that is this repair. Cat and rail is pretty good, to be fair, but this, where the car line comes down, the section hasn't been properly formed. It looks like it's just a bit of channel. There isn't these flanges on the edge. So what I've got to do is, it's also the same on the other side. They're not both the same either. One of them is got longer legs and the other one hasn't. One's made of thicker metal. So my nightmare now is there isn't any car line here. So that means that I've got to fabricate some, and then I've got to bend it, then I've got to put it in place, and I've also got to jack up the car line as well, because the alignment isn't sitting into place right. So that's what I've got to do. So that's going to be my life of relative pain trying to fabricate that. But yeah, not our work, but we've been asked to rectify it. So that's what I'm going to do while Michael has been doing other repairs that you would have seen. So my plan is, seeing as the roof is pretty rotten here anyway, I'll cut out a little patch, probably about here down to there, and get all of this visible again, and then repair this car line in here. So that's what you're going to see now. And also you're going to see it go from the other side as well. I'm just, instead of explaining the other side, I'll just reposition you, and we'll just do it in a one-up. So there we go, we have now finally shored up the cab. some of what you saw get taken out really wasn't adequate for the task. It's quite surprising actually, you know, for somebody that was, you know, contracted in to have left that. But there you go, problem solved now. So yeah, just giving this a quick coat of paint because this is going to be going out in 3 days, roughly 3 days time. So just something to protect the metal really underneath. So yeah, you would have seen, obviously we put all this metal work in, put the metal work in on the side. There was like a patch that went down here on the other side. But that car line on the other side, longest car line I've done. So something a little bit different. But what you might have noticed is all the welds I was doing on the side. That is because it comes in a straight section, that car line. So to bend it, I cut it and then bend it, and do that about 3 times, and then you can get roughly the right radius. Because the radius is variable at this point, it's like an arch, and then it tightens up to meet in with the body line. I did 3 cuts quite close together, and then 3 cuts further apart, just to give me that variable radius, and it's come out looking quite nice, to be fair. So yeah, but longest car line I've done. But yeah, here she is. Finally, the cab is, you know, suitable for the requirements. We've still got a little bit here to fix, but we'll probably jump further down the driver's side. As this is the driver's side, probably jump further down the driver's side. And Michael will talk you through a couple of repairs he's going to be doing there. Basically the same kind of stuff that we've done on the other side that you might have already seen by now. And that is, you know, cut the roof out, basically stuff like this, cut the roof out, fix any corrosion underneath. And yeah, as this unit is, got the deadline for it is May, so, and at the moment it's completely stripped out, you know, it still needs to be painted, it still needs to be, you know, all the prep for that done, it still needs to be, the whole interior needs to be refitted. So yeah, we can only give it 2 days, so we're just prioritising the really urgent jobs anywhere there's basically a hole. And yeah, just trying to get as much, you know, done, as many of those holes filled in the 2 days that we've got. So this is now day 2. So yeah, you'll see Michael further down the driver's side.
Right guys, so what we're going to be doing here is removing this gutter up to about here and getting rid of this metal work here that's gone bad. We think the roof's okay, so we put a pry bar on it, it's not poked any holes in it, but we're just opening it up just to have a look and get a nice fitment of the metal behind the gutter, just so it's got something nice to sit onto afterwards, and hopefully we'll get rid of this hole.
Right, so now that we've done that roof repair, it's now on to a little bit of an oddity for a 117 or any bubble car, and that is a repair on a steel door, because all the doors, apart from the ones on the guards van, are all aluminium. So what we're going to do here is we're obviously going to take the bottom off. You can see it's rotted, there's quite a lot of filler here, so we'd like to get rid of that. And so what you do is you see me now cut this out. I'll then probably take you to the bench and I'll show you me fabricating it, because there's a nice line that needs to be made here, like on a panel, and then another one that needs to be made to go on the underneath so it can screw into the wood underneath. So yeah, that's what you're going to see, and then we'll weld it in, and yeah, happy days. We should hopefully have quite a nice looking guard door at the end of it. So there we have it. What a fabricating marathon that was. You know, something a little bit different. You know, got 2 bends here. Usually I'm used to, you know, needing, you know, 1 dimension in any bends. So it was a bit of a new challenge for me, but one I've got to get used to, because our DMU in Destination DMU, well, as soon as 412 gets done, we've got 370. 370 has 4 steel doors, one of which is really badly corroded. If you want to see any more of that, then I'll link an episode up here where we go through our entire fleet. But that's besides the point at the moment. But, you know, good practice, and it's actually, you know, for a first time, I'm really happy with it, you know, using some of the skills that I've gained from other things, you know, and try to morph it into this. You know, I'm very happy with how it's turned out. We also did our best here to manage the heat as well, to minimize warpage, because, you know, there's literally, it's just a skin that's kind of folded down. So this, without this bottom bit in, this would move quite freely. So trying to get that in line, you know, really took our time with this. This probably took 2 times the length of any other patch job that we did in this episode. But we also did more than what we showed you in this episode, mainly because we've got limitations. We've only got 2 filming setups, and occasionally there's 3 things going on. Paul has been working in the background. There's been a few things he's done. He stripped a couple of panels at the front, like the lower halves. Basically, there was loads of rust and everything. So an old BR filler. And so while we've been getting on with all the stuff you've seen and some stuff that you haven't, he's been, you know, doing that and really making himself quite useful for the 2 days. So yeah, you know, this isn't everything that we've done. This is kind of a best bits that we've done, what you've seen in this episode. So yeah, so to finish it off, I'm really happy with that. And yeah, you know, Bruce is happy with it, which, you know, he's who we're doing this for, as obviously he wants to get us out in May, and, you know, you couldn't have left what was there, you know, the rust, you know, the old filler, it needed to go, and this is a far better replacement than what was in there. So if you want to see a bit more of Bruce as well, he was in episode 1 of this series. I'll link that up here. I'll link that video up here. So yeah, that tops off this episode really, because we're getting to the end of day 2, and we really haven't got enough time to do any more patches. You know, Michael has been working on some bump stops on the other side that are rusted through, something that you haven't seen but has been going on in the background. So lots has been done here. As I speak, the dome is currently being put on by members of the group that are working on this. So yeah, lots has been done, you know, not all us, but some of the stuff you haven't seen. But we've really cherry-picked the best stuff, really, the most exciting stuff for this. So yeah, that kind of, you know, that kind of finishes it off, and you know, what a note to send it off on, and yeah, we will get into the next bit of the video.
Right folks, that's the end of our 2-day stint at the Great Central Railway Wagon Works at Rothleigh, working on this bubble car. I've been doing all my usual bits and bobs that I tend to do, prepping jobs and finishing jobs off. I've also caught some footage of the North Eastern Railway 1903 petrol-driven rail car, so I hope you'll enjoy those snippets.
So yeah, as you will have seen, plenty of welding going on. Had a typical suburban colander roof, just plenty of holes like Swiss cheese. We've mitigated the problem, sorted it all out, and she's back to how she should be, leak-free hopefully. Definitely in the places we've tackled it. We've also had plenty of patches of rock cut out on the side, and nice fresh metal going back in, so she looks just how she should. Even with a fresh fabrication challenge for Johnny, which was doing a luggage door bottom, which is a nice new challenge, which will also help us when we come to do our unit in the future.
So yeah, it's been quite a good 2 days. You've kind of got the best of it. There's been quite a few boring jobs that's been going on. Paul has been slaving away doing some of the more undesirable jobs. They get you a little bit dirty. But as you will be able to see, the dome's also on. Because Bruce he's really pushing to get this out for the May Gala that it's going to be launched at. We are most likely going to be there unless, you know, the world ends. So if you want to come and see us, then, you know, come down and see us. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in our next very exciting video.